And it's and I'm it. You know, I have sinus issues. You know, like every now and then you can hear me do like little.
Yeah,
on my,
yeah.
You know, I try not to do it in the mic, but I can't help it. But I went in with a sinus infection to the clinic, and this time, you know, my girlfriend came with me, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, you got some postnasal drip." They gave me some meds. They're like, "Oh, and she's gonna go and tell you how to clean out your nose." And I'm like, "Oh, sure." They're gonna flush it out. Went over there. She just gave me this little battery-powered rocket launcher of a water pick or something.
Okay.
You know, and she was like, "Okay, just put it right here and go." And I'm like, "I've tried this before, this neti pot thing, you know, and it's never worked, you know." And then my girlfriend said, she was like, "Oh, just like when you're not scuba, snorkeling, just
Pressurize.
don't breathe through your nose, like block your
Yeah.
nose, don't plug it,
Yeah, equalize.
yeah, and just hold that and just go from your mouth." And I'm like, "That's it, you know?" And then she pushed it and it went and a bunch of shit came out, and I'm like, and it just came on through, and my eyes were watering because it's going through my sinuses, and it just was the best thing I've felt in my life, dude. I'm 41 and I've had chronic sinusitis, diagnosed at 4 years old, and now I finally, just because my girlfriend said, just like snorkeling, don't breathe through your nose, like consciously, and then breathe through your mouth, like, and then it just goes through and it cleaned it out. I'm like sitting there, like crying half because it's amazing and crying half because it's water going through my sinuses. And switch to
Like
the other side. I'm like,
you've been
"Baby,
popped
this is
in the
amazing."
face. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sure.
after that, I could still feel that they were swelled up, but it was clear. All that rubber
Yeah,
cement
nice.
was out.
People that get they get their deviated septum thing taken care of. They get the surgery for that as well. They
Both
say
my
the same
parents did
thing.
that.
Like, this is one of the most amazing experiences. Oh, hey, Luna's over there.
Yeah, there she is. Oh, I miss Luna.
Yeah, cutie.
She is on camera too. Yeah, both my parents got a deviated septum surgery, and I don't think I have one. I just have the chronic sinusitis. But dude, just like it's like a daily thing. I sit there and
Amazing.
it's just oh yeah, it's slightly uncomfortable, but in a good way.
Sure,
Like exercising or a new sex position or something, you know? Because afterwards you're like yes, and the rest of your day is amazing. I'm 41. I can't stress that enough, and I've just found out that this is how you do it. Bless the girlfriend with this
There you
one
go.
little tip.
That's all it takes.
It's
Just
amazing.
the tip.
Anyway, we're on the internets.
Are we on the internets? Right on. Well, on that note, hey, welcome to Cruise in Taiwan.
Taiwan land.
D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of dirty-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
Is that the new way to say it?
I am Ben in Chiang Mai,
I am Tim in Taichung, Taiwan.
and we are critters in Thailand, Taiwan.
Yeah. See, I thought about this.
Okay. Shake your head. It'll go away.
Remember? All right, continue. When remember when Talks Machina came out, right?
Yes.
And then they started campaign 2.
Yes.
And I was like, "Are you going to change the name?"
Right.
And they're like, "Nah,
No.
it's Talks Machina."
It's Talks Machina. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about us, bud.
Good.
Like you're not in Taiwan anymore, but you were.
I was, and
Yeah.
it's where a big part of my life was for
Yeah.
over 20 years. So yeah.
So these actors, they were Vox Machina. So yeah, we'll just keep it the same. You know,
I'm down with that.
that's how I feel. And also,
I'm all
kinda
good with it.
lazy about changing the whole
Sure.
backdrop. over there.
That's really what it's about.
That's
We're
really
just
what it
lazy
is.
And we don't really want to change the name.
Yeah, I got a lot
It's
going
all
on
good.
over here. You know,
It's all good.
Who doesn't?
Well, hey, listen, man. Tonight, Critters in Taiwan are going to be talking about episode number 107, Under the Arch Heart's Eye.
Under the Arch Heart's Eye. Okay, basically named after the second half of the episode, which was a quarter.
Maybe the entire episode, honestly.
Oh shit, here we go. The first of many, folks. What we found out is we just got to end the call. It's probably my computer. I don't know. Now it's not letting me end the call. It did before, but now it's not. Yeah, I can see connection loss. My computer's trying to tell me what's going on. It won't even respond to my fucking mouse. There we go. There we go. What? No, end the call. Oh, there we go. Now it's responding. Okay. Jeez. Technical difficult. I mean, we can't figure it out. We're not tech guys, but you know, we'll be
Sigh.
back as soon as we can every time it happens.
Yep. I don't know, man. I even set up a new account this time, so
It seems like that's on my side because it wouldn't respond to my mouse clicks. It even took a few moments for my task manager to come up.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there because it took a little longer than normal.
I think it's on my side.
It was like 8 minutes in, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it's like it's putting everything into my video and my audio, and everything else is like, no, we don't care.
Oh, interesting. You might have some. It's entirely possible you just got some faulty RAM. Your RAM's burned out and it's done. It maybe needs to be replaced. Yeah. That's hi Hazel.
Here she comes. Yeah, you know, I would
all
put
she
some money
wants
on
to
that.
do is fuck with the cables. That's the problem. And I'm afraid she's gonna fucking start unplugging shit. Oh well.
And now my mouse just right-clicked.
Oh yeah.
No
so anyway, what I was saying was,
sorry.
No, it's all good. I was saying that you said it's only named after the second half, but in all reality, it was kind of named after the whole episode because the statue was always there. So maybe he was watching the whole time. I mean, it sort of implies like he knew that Brea stomped on his face. So maybe he was there the whole time.
Was it
Probably
not destroyed when it came down?
Oh, of course it was. But
so, I mean, okay, that means it was still there, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it come back together afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, I missed that detail.
Yeah. Yeah, you said the whole thing came back up, and there was the statue all in. Because remember, the statue was destroyed by one of the when they were in combat.
The tail swipe or whatever, right?
The tail swipe by Glomglud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that doesn't matter. One thing we really got to remember here is that the Fey realm is the Archheart's domain.
Right.
So this is his favored terrain. Like this is where he, is at his arguably most powerful.
Right. And in Downfall, they were like, well, if you do it in your domain, you can basically try anything you want.
Pretty much.
Keeping that in mind, this god can do whatever the fuck they want. No. Even if they're taking a temporary avatar as a statue.
I got so many thoughts about what all this means. I mean, I'm just going to get right into it. Are we just going to get right into it?
Yeah, sure.
Here's my biggest thought right off the bat. It was never the Archheart. It's just a hot take. I'm not alone in this. Especially when he turns into Asmodeus and then he turns into the Dawnfather, like during the conversation. I'm like, yeah, God of Lies. Like that's what the God. This is what the God of Lies would do, right? And I mean, right off the bat, he gets some ultra-roll intelligence saves, and then it's like, okay, they all fail because it's a god, so the DC is probably somewhere in 30-something, 40-something, which nobody can, except maybe Ludinus or other archmages could ever possibly defeat or beat. But anyway, regardless, it's still it just a hot take. Like it's Asmodeus the whole time, and it's all just lies and lies and lies. But I've been saying this for a few weeks now, so I don't know.
A few weeks now. That's a long prediction, bud.
Well, I have been though, right? Remember a couple of weeks ago I started saying that Sam's lying about everything because this is the God of Lies, and Bryas is lying about everything, and then now the Archheart is in there and he's lying about everything because he's not really the Archheart. He's actually, Asmodeus posing as, and they would never know. So just thoughts. I'm probably wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Is that still daylight coming through your window back there?
Yeah, dude, it's remember, we're an hour behind, yeah.
That's right.
And the sun doesn't set here until like 6:30 anyways, which is coming up shortly.
Yeah, like
so, even it's sunset right now.
Even 30 minutes ago, it was still fairly dark outside. Yeah.
Oh, there? Yeah, we are a fair bit south of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, quite
even in the north in Chiang Mai, we're still fairly south of you.
Yeah. How's the temperature treating you?
Amazing. It got hot today because the rain stopped for a few hours, so it went up to like 30 degrees. But it drops down. It drops down to like 24, 25 every night. It's nice and it's so comfortable outside.
Jeez, lucky you, huh?
Yep. Hottest time of the year here is March and April. When the summer begins and the rainy season hasn't hit yet, it gets into the 40s apparently.
Oof.
I don't think I've ever been in Thailand in March and April, so this will be an interesting experience for me. The only times I've ever come are winter and summer. I've never come in the spring and the fall.
You might be ready for it, just living in Kaohsiung for so long.
Yeah, whatever. The biggest problem is going to work with wearing a shirt and no, it's almost a tie, a shirt and pants and shoes. It's like
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing to get used to, is when it's hot, you don't want to be wearing a lot of clothes.
Yeah, I mean, even here, they want me to wear like a, kind of like a business casual shirt. Could be a polo, whatever, just like something with a
Okay.
collar. I'm not doing that because it's just too hot. That's it.
Right.
So I go in shorts. I wear shoes, but just shorts and like a really sweat wicking, shirt with no collar. In the winter, yeah, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna wear pants and proper
Right.
shoes, and
But in the summer, it's way too hot.
sorry,
Yeah, I get it.
like that's very unprofessional. And I'm gonna bitch about the work for a second. For the first period of every damn day, from 8 to 8:40, they say no. We have a policy that you don't use AC. So all the kids are in the classroom just like sweating. There's like,
Oh, gross.
for the first class, and if you have the first class, which I do 3 days of the week, I come around and check the students' work. I'm dripping sweat on their desks, on their shoulders, on
Gross.
their papers. I'm sorry.
Gross.
If I see that once, I close the doors, I turn on the AC. I
Yeah.
don't care if they rat on me, because
Yeah.
let's not pretend that this place is not in the subtropics. Turn on the AC until we don't need it.
What's the logic behind that? Because they're trying to be green, they're trying to be environmentally friendly, they're trying to save money. I wonder what the logic is.
You go back and forth. Green makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And they said like, oh, we're trying to promote opening windows and doors and getting natural movement of air.
We do that every day at school, and I've noticed it makes a dramatic difference. So in the morning, it's all AC
what,
the
though?
whole time. At lunchtime, when the kids go to the canteen for lunch, and I go with them, and then I come back, I open the
Canteen.
doors, and then and that's what the cafeteria is called, the canteen. And then I open all the doors and the windows for a full hour, and it makes a dramatic difference with the kids' attitude. Then I close them, and the AC comes back on again, and then the kids come back, and it's but the difference is the CO2 levels change, and it's actually we've had studies done on this that are actually like peer-reviewed, proper journal articles that studies have been done, and we follow that, and it makes a difference with the students. They're not as sleepy in the afternoon, the alertness level goes up, so it's something to think about. It's just because ACs just recirculate, right? They're not actually bringing in fresh air. So it's like the CO2 levels are all staying the same. CO levels are all staying the same. So promote more oxygen in the classrooms, open the doors, waft out all the crap, and then bring new air in.
Yeah.
Does make a difference.
That makes sense around lunchtime.
Yes.
If it's in the morning where there's no buildup already,
No, doesn't
they're
make sense.
they're tired already because they just woke up, and then they're sitting there like, I can't do class. I'm hot. I'm uncomfortable. And they're restless. They don't listen. They're just Anyway.
All right, let's stay
get to
on track here
107.
and let's get to 107. So real quickly, shout out to CMT. Appreciate your thumbs up that you gave us for last week.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, just appreciate you for paying attention.
Yeah, country music television. They're on us. All right.
There you go. Or is it CMT? Jesus, I should probably take a look. I think it's CMT. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Do. Oh, too much.
Okay,
That's
Laura
too loud.
Bailey.
CMLT.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah.
I don't have a joke for that.
Country Music Live Television.
Ah, country music. Okay, sure.
All right. Anyway, so also, hey man, I sent you a message about this when I saw the Instagram post that they said, and then they did talk about it at the ad read at the beginning. Narrative telephone is back. My hands down favorite CR thing of all time, like peripheral stuff, all the one shots, all the other stuff. Narrative telephone was the best. I've had the best laughs of my entire life in that whole series of things. Just the funniest thing. I'm so excited to hear what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I love it. I'm very excited. October 16th, I think.
Oh, that's my girlfriend's birthday. It's great both ways because when they do a really good job, it's impressive and you want to watch again. When they do such a terrible job, it's hilarious.
It's amazing.
It's the best.
It's equally as impressive.
Like they
it's
lose
so
like
bad.
70% of the story the first time
In
through.
one go.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the next person's like, there's not much to work with here. Thanks,
Yeah, I know,
Ashley.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, some good stuff. All right. Well, when we
I'm
get
hoping-
into Rollies.
Sure, let's get into some rollies. Sure.
Of course, I always have my matte die, and I got my Ford die, and this time I got a matte 20. So this one is going to win all day. Ben's not going to win a single rollie.
I don't think I won last week, so
Did
an
you
11?
not win one?
I don't think I won once last week.
Jeez. Well, let me start
I
with
got
an
an
11. Rollies
What?
again. I got an 11.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, Matt 20.
10?
Matt 20.
No way! Nice. Excellent.
All right.
Here and it begins.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It has begun.
All right. My first notes are on the second half, which is only 40 minutes.
No, it's an hour. It's a full hour. It's
a
actually
full
a
hour?
little over an hour. Yeah,
Okay, but the first half was like 3 hours and a
yeah.
3.5 hours.
They said the longest first half ever, but I don't think that's true. But it felt like it.
Huh. Man, I think all my notes are about the second half, though.
Go for it then.
Dun, dun, dun,
Fire
dun,
away.
dun,
I'll turn to the
dun,
break.
dun,
I've got a bunch of notes on the break too. So after the break. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Geez. All right. I guess I'm going to start in the second half. Not much to say about the first half, but be good to remember it. All right. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Dorian, but I don't like to use the name Dorian. What's his real name? Breton?
Robbie.
No. The character.
Oh, not Bren.
Bronte.
Bronte.
There it is. Bronte. Yep. When he was in there, and I thought that he was making some good, potentially strong points and arguments when he was talking to the statue god.
Oh, when he was pissed off, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "What about this? And what about this?" And there was a single response from the god, and all he said was, "You are beautiful," and left it all alone. It was like a 2-minute soliloquy, you know. And we all know from the show Friends what that means is you're stupid. Let's just go past it. And I'm like, dude, he's not even acknowledging any of this?
No.
What the hell does this mean? Does that mean that he's sure that everything he said is just, oh, you're so young and naive? Or is he hiding from something? Nothing was addressed.
I was getting, like, you got to remember, Abubakar, he's from TV, right? So he's a TV actor. He's been in House of Dragons for a while now.
What a voice, jeez.
Oh, what a voice, I know. But I was getting the medieval fantasy vibe. But what I was really getting from this, and this is, I think, why what you just said is so poignant. Do you remember 300?
I never saw it.
What? Shame on you.
Hasn't this come up?
It's one of the greatest. It's what's his name? It's Miller. God damn it, brain farting on his name. Something Miller.
I'm picturing him.
Frank Miller. I think it was Frank Miller.
I can see him
300.
Right now.
Yeah, 300. Gerard Butler as the lead role. The bad dude is the god of the Persians. He's not a real god, but he's anyway. You haven't watched it, so it doesn't matter. But you, the audience, other people that watch this, I'm sure you've seen it. He was getting. I don't, for the life of me, remember the actual Persian god's name. Xerxes or I don't remember.
Get in touch.
The out of touch, inhuman, alien, like looking down at ants on an anthill vibe that he was giving off, like, oh, you're so cute, you're so beautiful, you're so sweet, and then just like really in a whole other world of none of the shit you say actually matters, so I just need you to do this thing. It's so foreign, hostile, alien vibe. Like, if do you remember from Star Trek, when Star Trek Next Generation, when they had their interactions with Q?
Haven't seen it.
Jesus, man. You don't watch any nerd shit ever other than Critical Role?
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
All right. So let's look at not Harry Potter, maybe Lord of the Rings, how the wizards, they're not human, they're a different race, how they view the humans. Tolkien's wizards were a separate race of beings, and they ascended at various, they were the brown, the blue, the white, the gray.
And they ascended.
Yeah, they were all colors.
No, I mean, like, afterwards, wasn't there the colorful Sauron in the book?
No, Sauron dies.
Right. Before or when he was Sauron the White.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't become the colorful. Jeez,
Okay.
I think I remember.
One of my students is reading The Two Towers right now, and it's like,
Okay.
and she's in grade 3, and she's like, yeah, and then there's like there's the gray, the white, and then the colorful teacher, and I'm like, what? I never heard of that. Is she wrong?
Not in the not in the Two Towers. In the Two Towers, the only one there's the white. There's Sauron the white. There's Gandalf the gray, and there's Radagast the brown. There's a blue wizard and I think there's a red one that are mentioned in the Silmarillion, but I don't think they're actually mentioned in the Lord of the Rings. I forget. It's been too long.
It's been a long time.
Anyway, so the way that they view mortal men is kind of like it's foreign, it's alien, it's different. That's the vibe that Abu was giving at that table as the Archard. Not really paying attention to them, and just sort of, oh, you're adorable children. You're so cute. Like the way we would deal with kindergarten kids that don't really know what they're doing. They're just sort of walking around like drunken idiots at the bar at 3 a.m. when the lights come on.
It's still just kind of nice, like in that situation when kids come up to you and you're like, teacher, what's this? That's a pen. Teacher, what's this? It's like, oh, that's my coffee cup from earlier. And teacher, what's this? It's like, okay, they just want to interact with you.
Yes, very much, very much.
You don't give them which is complex answer. You just
part of the reason with what Bell's Hells was doing. It's like as the Archard, as a god, this is their first real interaction. They've had a couple of visits and visions and dreams and things, but this is their first like full on, as far as they know. And he was very much down to earth, but still being foreign in the answers and being still being very vague and slightly obtuse with some things, as you said. And I think it's just because he's on a whole different level. It's an omnipresent, omnipotent, sort of omniscient thing, omni everything.
Yeah, which has been kind of dumbed down a little bit after Downfall.
Yeah, a little bit.
That omniscient,
which is again
omnipotent,
I'll go back to what I said before. I really wonder if it wasn't him. I really wonder if it was Asmodeus.
Just fucking with them?
Just fucking with them. Throwing wrenches into the monkeys.
They're gods.
I don't know.
They can do all kinds of stuff.
100%. That's sort of what I feel. I'm like, this is this, and then that's what does this even mean? What does it, where does it go?
When it comes down to, we don't know shit until Matthew says something.
And
no, even
exactly.
then.
Even then, it's still all hidden. Yeah. So I think that it felt like that vibe that he was like, and even saying I don't know. He said I don't know several times. I don't know, but I think you'll be okay. But I don't know. I call bullshit on that. He does know. They do know. The gods do know what will happen, and they don't want it to happen. I'm calling bullshit on a lot of stuff here. I think a lot of the stuff that he was saying, like, no, I'm tired. We've tried this, it doesn't work. We've tried that, it doesn't work. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Like it has to be.
Yeah. Well, we've got. Okay. There's the Fate Stitched. Oh, we're dropping frames here. What?
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah. Well, it's still recording, but we're dropping frames like a motherfucker.
On me or you?
It's on. Oh, dropped frames. A lot of frames. So the live stream is shit right now.
Uh-oh.
But the recording should be fine because it's going through the program and everything looks good.
That's fine then.
Yeah. It's just at
Whatever.
0%. The frames are 0% live right now. But we're still recording, so we're fine. We're fine.
That's cool. That's good. As long as it's on your computer, it's all good. Upload later.
Yeah. I throw my hands up in situations like this. I don't try to guess what's going to happen. I just be like, hey, you just don't know. When you get gods involved or you get liars involved, you don't know. You know,
you just don't know.
You get that naughty kid in class and be like, hey, why were you late? She's like, I was helping somebody go to the nurse. You're like, you don't know. They might be lying. Who knows? Who gives a shit? Just sit down. Don't be late next time. You know, and I'm just waiting for the next episode. But it was pretty sick that they got to talk with this motherfucker.
And what a surprise too, right? Like that was the other big thing is they did not know. That surprise was genuine. So they knew he was in the studio, right? They must have. There's no way you could hide that.
I think
they knew he was there.
I think that's why they got all like, you motherfucker.
Right.
Because
we're going to have, Travis, we're going to have words.
Yeah.
Very, very much. They knew he was there, but they did not realize that he would be jumping in. On the cool down, just a quick little backstory stuff. On the cool down, Matt said that he had flown in that day. and that he had come into the studio early before everybody else, and had spent a few hours debriefing about lore and about stuff that was going on. And
Who
about,
said this about whom? Sorry.
Matt said this
Okay,
about
Matt
Abu.
said this about
That he had come into the studio, that he'd come in
Abu.
early, had spent a few hours downloading stuff. Like they had a 3 hour conversation
Him and Abu.
about lore.
Am I
Yeah,
saying his
Matt
name right?
and Abu. Yep,
Okay.
Abubakar. Abubakar
Few
Salim.
hours. That's a big
Yeah.
download.
Well, you don't, but it makes sense, man. Like, you don't know what they're gonna ask. So Matt's got to cover everything, because the guy midstream, he can't go, hey Matt, what about that? Like, what does that mean? How do I answer that?
I'm sorry.
He needs all the answers, or at least needs to know how to know, like with the question with Dorian, just how to brush it aside.
You
No,
really
you don't
are
answer
beautiful.
that. Yeah, you just tell them that thing. Like, you're a god and they're not.
When Matthew hands that trust over to somebody, like I didn't know this guy,
Yeah.
before this episode, before Downfall, I guess.
Game of Thrones.
He seemed familiar, but I couldn't tell from where, like as it goes. But for Matthew to hand that trust over and just like, here you go, like this is canon,
Yeah.
that's amazing, and that he handled it so well too. But then, shit, I had a thought about that.
Should we do rollies for it?
Yeah. Did you yes and on that one?
I did.
Okay, we'll call that a yes and. Let's roll these again. Fuck, man.
Rollies.
Oh, I had something I wanted to say.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to push that button until Shit.
It's gone. It'll come back.
Oh, it was a good one.
Infinity.
Infinity versus 2.
Oh, yeah, 1-1. Infinity always wins.
Hey, it's been a while since I pushed that B button there.
My
Chiang Mai.
my question is for you.
Oh, for me?
He said,
I'll take it.
well, it's a question you don't like to answer, but that's fine. I'm still going to ask it anyway. He said, 2 of us want to turn away from Exandria and leave.
Oh.
Who do you think the other one is? I have my theories. I've got it down to 2.
And they're not betrayers, right?
He didn't say. He just said 2 of my family.
Uh-oh. Here we go again. Oh, end the phone call. This is terrible. Send. Go away. Call back. I can't remember the names of the gods, man. I mean, like, they didn't change them.
Boo, beep, boo.
Boo, beep, boo. Beep, boo, beep. Now,
Skype, solve our problems. Listen, if you're watching it all, figure out what we're doing wrong. Let us know.
If you can come fix my computer and you live in Taiwan, just fucking, I'll pay you. I'll come off with this right away. After that whole debacle with, like, I don't even remember the names of things, where it's like, you can't call her. Oh God, what was Pike's goddess?
The Everlight. Saren Ray.
Saren Ray, but then you had to turn it to the Everlight.
The Archart's actual D&D name, or maybe Pathfinder name is a better one, is Corellian. I think it's D&D.
Good Lord.
I'm not sure. Yeah. The Dawnfather is Paylor, but they don't call him that anymore because of copyright shit, right? So they're trying to distance themselves from the copyright issues because fuck Hasbro, that kind of shit. Yeah.
So that means that every god that I was familiar with from Vox Machina has doubled, and I don't know which one's which.
Yeah.
It's like Dawnfather. Is that Paylor, or is that the
Paylor.
I mean, you just said that, but
yes.
If you say Saren Ray, or if you say Paylor, or if you say Korg, I get
Ioun.
it. But then when you use the new names, I'm like, wait, which one was that?
Right.
And I don't know which name goes to which god, or what they preside over.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's hard for me to name a name of a god and say like which one would like duck out.
So who do you think it is?
That's the thing. I don't know if I can name him by name.
Well, what you know what god it might be? Take a guess. You don't even have to.
Like, not even join the fight is is what they're saying, right? Because it's like 2 of us, me and another god. We're like, let's stay away from this. The only thing I can think of as far as like being aloof and maybe kind of distant from it would be the Raven Queen.
Right. The matron.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the matron of Ravens. Yeah.
That's my guess.
Because she's like, death is going to happen no matter what. It's like,
no matter what, it doesn't
we've
matter.
all seen Meet Joe Black.
If I'm on the run here or there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. For me, it comes down to one really important thing. It's got to make sense narratively. If it's going to happen, it's got to make sense narratively, which means it's got to be somebody from Downfall, which means it's got to be somebody that was sitting at that table.
Huh.
And you can take a bunch out, like you can take Loth out, you can take you can take a whole bunch of them out. The Wild Mother probably out. The Dawn Father is out because he wanted to stay. There's a bunch of them that want to protect their kids, so they're like, no, they're never going to go. It's either, in my opinion, it's either the matron or Asmodeus. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Those are the two that it would make the most sense for, because Asmodeus, because all he really wants is his family, and this would be the way to get his family back. If they're all on the run together, then they're all together, and the Raven Queen, because like you said, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, death will happen no matter what.
No matter what. So
it's kind of like with the God of War, the new game series with Ragnarok and stuff. There was an issue with the Valkyries being able to bring people from death to the afterworld,
right?
And nobody was able to go, so hell was all backed up,
right?
And like when you save the Valkyries, then they can all have peace. What if she wasn't there? Would that be a similar thing? There's just like this huge limbo, this huge what's that thing? Purgatory. Right. Like anybody who dies is just a lost soul for eternity if she's not there. So if that's the case, then she might have a dog in the race, but...
Sure. So many questions, though,
does
right?
She care?
Like, maybe, because then death is death, and it doesn't really matter. But then there's undead. There's a giant, huge question, though, Mark, with Asmodeus, which is the king of the hells. What the fuck happens to all the devils and the demons, as far as that goes, both of them? What happens to all of those, the abyss and the hell, like the hells, the abyss, all the planes and all the levels, all of those mega bosses and the archfey, all of them, what happens to them when there are no gods to keep them in check? They just run over everything? Exandria turns into a demon devil battleground with the fays as well, like the archfays and all those also in the mix. Like, what happens there when the gods aren't around? They're on the run.
That'd be so war-torn.
The whole thing, it probably just gets destroyed completely and utterly. There's no life whatsoever.
And that's left of it,
bad, because you can't kill demons and devils on Exandria. They just get banished. So it doesn't matter to them if they die there. They just go back, and then they go back again, and they just keep going back and over again. So the Matron of Ravens has a giant problem with that, because once everybody's dead, they're dead, and then it's just devils and demons and fae, and it doesn't matter.
Isn't it also super painful? Remember the Rakshasa?
I don't think
when they went back, it was like a Vax in the lens thing right now, just excruciating pain. So when they come back, they're just going to be more vengeful, right?
Right, and it's just a vicious circle, and then it becomes like, okay, but then there's no mortals left. Eventually, you play that out all the way.
Pretty
there's no
quick.
mortals,
and then
the Raven, the matron has a huge problem with that. Oh, did I just freeze?
Well, your sound is still going, but your video's gone.
Yeah.
Now this looks like a Skype thing.
It does, doesn't it? Because it's frozen on my end too.
Jeez.
Weird. I'm like in mid. Yeah.
But it wasn't a terrible face. It was a normal face.
Is it back now?
Not quite yet. I'll give it a second. If not, I'll just hang up and call you back.
Yeah, it sounds good. Maybe do that. 3, 2, 1. Hang up.
Okay. Hey, if anybody knows how to fix this shit, or if you just get in touch in the contacts, please. This is silly. All right, I'll call you right back.
All right.
This is ridiculous, man. Again, I blame my computer. It was a great computer about 6 years ago, but now it's just I don't know, no porn, no links, nothing. I use this computer for this and games, and I haven't used it for games in a long time. I know, it says Ben is not online. Doesn't everybody love reconnection successful from OBS Studio? What is going on, people? What is going on? I pay my bills. I'm gonna call him right back. If this thing is all fucked up because of some, I don't even know how to. Hey, no video. How about that? Oh, there it is.
There it is. Don't know what's going on, man. All kinds of problems.
I also just got a little notification in the corner that said OBS back online. So there might be a hiccup in our recording. If that's the case, I'll just put it in the comment or in the description, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be it. So be it.
That derails me, man. I don't remember what we were saying. I had all kinds of thoughts.
We're talking about if the gods run, if they actually do run, the power vacuum that's left.
And what are they going to do if they run?
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Or duck out, like we said,
all of it
the
seems
Raven.
sus as hell, man. I don't trust any of it.
No. And there were betrayers on Downfall.
Yeah, well, half of them were, half the table was. My biggest, honestly, out of all of this, the biggest takeaway from this entire episode, if you don't mind me throwing it out there, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that Calamity, if they do nothing, Calamity 2.0 happens, 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
The Archart basically laid it out. He's like, listen, if you don't do this right now, we're not going to let it happen. We're just going to fucking nuke everything. I'm like, yeah, that's the clearest, concisest answer of all. Because I think I kind of gave myself a little bit of a pat there. I'm like, I called it, because you could see the writing there. Yeah. Calamity 2.0 is going to happen. And I think it doesn't matter what Bell's Hells or Vox Machina or Mighty Nine does. It's going to be fun to watch them do these little one-shots and rescue missions and three-pronged attack sort of dealio. But
I look forward to it so much, dude.
I think Calamity 2.0 is happening regardless.
Yeah. And a nice little touch here is that this was the same god that said, like, do you do this or do you put that city down in ruins?
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice the city. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, awesome. And he was even wilder. Like that. One thing that didn't get brought up by them that I was really surprised by is that Salaha, which is the avatar that he was in Downfall, was created by the Archmages in the city of Aor. So he spent all that time, 30, 40, 50, whatever it was, years serving inside Aor, and yet. So he intimately knew the details of what was going on and what was happening there. So sort of surprised they didn't talk about that, because that is really, we get a little inkling of it when he shows the star, when he reaches up and pulls that star down, and hi Hazel.
Right in their face. Yeah.
Selena Venres, I think her name is, the Archmage that was tasked with or wanted to get rid of all of the, to disseminate all of the knowledge to the rest of the rest of the people, to everybody. Yeah. How to build this machine, this device.
This device. Sorry.
Yeah. Cool fucking ring though, man. That Ring of Perseverance or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
God,
that's one of these little notes here, because like
go for
I was like,
oh,
there's a little ring on there, and I'll just slide into that DM. They did say what was up with it, so I wrote the note as I heard about it, and I was like, yeah, and then they immediately told me about it. Yes. So what's going on with that ring? There was a huge. I remember there was a huge like if this doesn't happen, you're fucked kind of thing.
Hazel, stop with my mouse.
There was a huge drawback to it.
There's a cat. You see? No, you can't see. You want to see a cat? Here's a cat. There's a
cat.
She's still purring.
The slow blinks, dude. She loves it when you pick her up.
She does.
Even when she's on TV.
Any kind of attention, she loves it. No, so it's a caster's delight. It's a +2 to everything. +2 to AC, +2 to spellcasting modifier, +2 to spell attack modifier, +2 to DCs. It's +2 to everything. Huge. It's amazing. Huge.
But the drawback, there's something huge about the
drawback. There's no drawback. It's all of those
what am I thinking of?
So if you want to, you can, at any time, you can roll a D20. And if your D20 is greater than
godly.
If your D20 is great, just a D20, flat roll, no modifiers, no nothing. If your D20 roll is greater than your hit points, you cast Meteor Swarm.
Right. But it targets everything.
If it's your hit points or under,
that's what it is.
You take 40 D6 damage. 20 D6 fire damage and 20 D6 bludgeoning damage, which is Meteor Swarm. So basically, you either cast Meteor Swarm out or you cast Meteor Swarm inward.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, hold on a second. So you roll a d20, and their hit points are 150, let's say, 130, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe for her, 130, 120.
It's under 100, probably. She's a sorcerer, so it's D6, so it's under 100.
And a d20, if you forgot, has only 20
20
numbers on it.
sides. Yes.
Yeah. So if you roll any number, that's below your hit points. But you could be low. This is, okay, I remember Matthew saying, this is something that only when you're, like, about to die,
yes,
roll it.
You want, well, even then, maybe not. Like,
yeah.
like Liam
you
even
kill
says,
yourself.
Liam's like, or just take the bonuses and forever. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, just keep the +2. But it is it's a thing. Like the Archart casts Meteor Swarm at the end of Downfall, and that's what this is. This is Meteor Swarm. Good for better, for good or for bad.
Man, yeah, just keep that recon, dude, and just don't do that. Just don't do it.
Just don't pull that trigger ever.
Like, I don't see Imogen being the FCG of any situation. She seems kind of core character.
What a hell of a way to go, though.
Oof.
Like there's no coming back. That's unless you rolled 1 on every single dice, and then it would be like 40 points of damage. You're still dead, but it's not that over your max hit points damage, which is
dead,
permanent dead. No resurrection, no revival, no nothing. It's gone.
Well,
yeah. So
unless it's in this campaign where you can just go ahead and bring people back because they want to play the character.
Because they want to keep playing the character.
I have my issues. We've already talked about it. We're moving on.
Rule of cool, man. Rule of cool. It's it is what it is.
That's a stanky point in this campaign for me.
I found a DM here. I think I told you this last week. Found a DM.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Found a table, and I'm a little nervous about that because that's always an issue with sitting at a brand new table with people you don't really know. There's going to be a bunch of newbies that have never played before that want to, a couple of people that have played before, and then myself and the DM and his girlfriend who play a lot. So I'm a little curious about what that rule of cool is going to be. We're going to be play testing. He wants to play test the new PHB with all the new rules. So that's cool.
PHB.
But the Player's Handbook, the 2024 Player's Handbook,
gotcha.
Yeah, which has the new. It's basically 5e. Advanced 5e1, whatever, 5.1. I don't know what they're calling it. They're just calling it 2024. That's all. So they're changing up all the rules. Not changing up all the rules, but there's a whole bunch of new rule sets, bunch of new actions. Classes have it looks kind of cool. Every class gets 4 subclasses across the board, and they're set that way. So I'm a little bummed out by that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
It might be fun for insight and whatnot.
Sure,
you might see some really cool stuff too.
Might love it. No idea.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried. Hazel, stop it. I'm a little worried that
she doesn't listen to that command.
I'm a little bit worried that it's going to take away from some of the fun that I would like to have with it because I'm limited, handcuffed in some ways. But that's just because I'm old and stubborn and don't like.
You're set in your ways. You have your fetishes.
Changing.
If my hands aren't bound, I can't come. I mean, Ben told me that like yesterday.
I told you that's what you said.
Nice. Good retort. Well done. You want to do another rolly, dude?
Yes.
Speaking of coming online.
7.
4. Come on.
Whoa. All right. So I wrote down here at 1 hour, 41 minutes, 34 seconds.
Timestamp gif.
Travis zaps himself with the Zeus battle. That was funny. That made me fucking laugh. I rewound that one about 5 times to see the expression on everyone's face.
In the first half?
Yeah, in the first half.
Okay.
Mark that down. Go back and watch it. It's fucking amazing.
Let me write that down.
1 hour, 41 minutes, 34 seconds.
1:41, 34.
Thereabouts. He's got the Zeus paddle in his hand and he's looking for the fly and then he's like, and then
Travis at the table.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, I was wondering what the fuck that was because it was in my phone was in my pocket at that point. I don't know what happened.
Everyone's killing themselves laughing, and you got to see what Laura's expression is. Everyone's dying and she's just like this.
Like, yeah, another day.
Another day. Yep. That's not my thing. I
You get
do.
2? Come on. I was the one with the
Ah.
Mat 20.
It's right. It's just before that actually. The at 1 hour. This isn't really a question. This is just a comment. At 1 hour, 11 minutes,
Oh,
40 seconds.
it's time. Get time. Calling it right now. 30 seconds.
Um,
His video feed's gonna go out.
Okay.
Just seeing if I've predicted.
I wrote this is my what I wrote down. This is turning into a real game among experienced D&D friends. The explanation of rules and mechanics by Matt explaining advantage of the Sorrow Lord against magic because he's Fey touched. He's from the Fey. It really struck me in that moment that Matt was actually explaining to them why he was rolling with advantage, because the Sorrow Lord has advantage because he's got advantage against magic because he's from the Fey realm and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is a great thing. This is really good.
Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say?
It's
I'm joking. No, he did say like a number of times. I mean, not compared to last episode, way fewer natural 20s. Holy shit.
yeah.
But this time he's like, oh, they get advantage because of this. It was
Yes.
a little bit under his breath, but nobody contested.
No.
And I didn't
No.
contest either. I'm just like, well, I'm sure he has his reasons. But he did say
It
that a lot.
reminded me, yeah, it reminded me a lot of the games that I have with very experienced players back in Taiwan. Is that we all are very aware of the rules and we just flat out lay them, and it becomes a game of mechanics, and then it's like you're like, oh, it's this because of this. And there's really good things about that, and there's really like narrative things that kind of take away from that. But I like that he's doing that with them now, as opposed to in campaign 1 where it was more about the story, and then they trusted him with the mechanics instead of.
Hey, Hazel.
they
You can hear her teeth on the mic.
Yeah. Also knocking all my shit down here. They trusted him with the mechanics in campaign 1, even campaign 2. But now in campaign 3, it's not about the mechanics anymore. It's really just about the game. So that he's explaining the mechanics to them so that they will full on like understand why he does the things that he's doing. If that makes sense. Refreshing. That's all.
It is nice. And not a yes and, but on that point too, Matthew, we know you're watching. Stop saying you and you make a roll. Tell me their names, please. Some people only listen and they only watch the second time. Come on, Matthew. Just a plea.
That's on you.
Yeah.
For not
And
watching.
Also, it's not clamber, it's clamor.
I love the way one of the words I love the way he says is lure. That the Florida comes out and he's like the lure.
Yeah, the lure.
Because the lure, because in down south,
lures you in.
southern states, yeah, it lures you in. I'm like, it's not a lure, it's a lure.
Yeah.
It's a lure. Lure, the lure.
Is there another word that's similar that should be used as an example?
Yeah, similar, lure,
Simular.
similar, nuclear. That one drives me insane.
Oh, nuclear.
People that say nuclear bombs, I'm like,
Lure. Nuclear.
Lure.
Nuclear. Nuclear. That sounds almost racist.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it there.
Sure.
Sure. Can I guess
Lure.
in with a kind of a
Giver.
oh, see, that's where he gets it from. Sure. It's not sure. I mean, it could be sure.
Yeah, but that's like saying that you comb your hair, and womb are also spelt exactly the same. But
That's a whole thing, you know.
Is
like
it?
hear and heard? Come on. That's a whole thing. I'm gonna guess in with something kind of evergreen, but I thought was awesome.
Okay.
And something that is one of the reasons I keep coming back to this damn game because it's so sick. By the game, I mean D&D in general. Is that like when I was playing my little Heroes game, not really D&D, it was a whole different system. I had good stats, but I couldn't roll even those stats. I was like Ashley Johnson or Matthew Mercer as characters.
Okay.
Matthew Mercer infamously perhaps, rolls so terribly when he's playing. But
Yeah.
pretty well, or average when he's GMing or DMing. And Ashley just like everything she rolls is like, oh, it's a natural one again. She's
Yep.
all the time. However, that doesn't stop them from doing things because you have other people doing shit too. And if you have good players or good friends or whatever, and they'll sit there and they'll do something. For example, when Sam went up with that thunder wave, dude, that's what D&D is about.
So 100%.
Like, she's trying to get on that dragon. Can we call it a dragon?
It's a dragon. Yeah,
it is a dragon.
It's a dragon. He's a dragon. Yeah.
He is a dragon. Okay.
Yes.
So she's trying to get up there, and like she did this big old thing where it's like, hey, you know how to get in touch with me. I love you guys, and she's gonna do something big if she rolls well enough, which she didn't.
Nope.
And then Sam gave her another chance. If he didn't think of this, she wouldn't have the other chance. And he just went up there. He's like, "How are your hit points?" And I think that's kind of table talk, personally. You know, because
there's a better way. There's a better way to say that. Like it's like, how damaged are you? How hurt do you look?
How do you look, right? And he just went up there and he's like, well, I know this pushes you 15 feet. And he knows his spell and just like gave her another chance. And when she got the other chance, she did okay. Whatever the case, she had another chance. And I really loved that moment. And that was so sick. The claws come out and she jumps off.
Yep. No, she didn't jump off. She's just like fucking with my pen. She's like, oh, a pen? I'll fuck you up. Fuck your pen.
Fuck your pen and fuck you too.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, she's still there.
She's attacking the microphone now.
She seems to either love it or hate it.
And there's all kinds of toys up here.
She's rubbing her teeth against it. She's moved it now. Oh, geez. Now you're just asking for it.
Oh.
Again, she attacks the mic.
Yep. Watch this. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Okay, go get it.
Oh, there you go. No?
No, she's not that. She's she's smarter than that. She's like, nah.
I see what you're doing. I'm going to annoy the shit out of you still.
Yep.
All right, well, that's my yes and. We're coming up on 55 minutes here. What do you think?
Yeah, I got stuff I got to do, so I'm looking at the clock too. I think we're gonna maybe wrap this up a little early. I got a couple more things to say.
You know, rock them out, or you want to rolly?
Let's just rock them out.
Okay.
No, I already said that one. I did want to quickly talk about the lack of worry that they had at the beginning of at the beginning of the second half, after the break. They were all just like, oh yeah, whatever, we're fine. And Matt's like, yeah, you all should be dead right now. Like, you should be. This is a building that collapsed in on you. And the lack of worry that they were expressing there kind of threw me a little bit. I'm like, even the first time I watched it, I was like, why aren't they worried about this? Their building just fell in on them. That's like hundreds of D6 of damage, like to the point where you're probably dead.
Yeah.
A building falls on you. It's like, this is...
And two of them are in there. I loved how Sam didn't know his character was in there. He was like, well, it's Imogen and, oh shit, it's me.
It feels like they went into the break a little bit just sort of like la-di-da, laissez-faire, and just like, okay, this is going to be all just totally fine. No problems.
Was it before the break that he said the two people are trapped in there? Or was it after the break that he said the two people trapped?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if I can yes and real quickly, I mean, something that you taught me ages ago, rocks fall, everybody dies, campaign is over. Right?
Yes.
And that's the first thing I thought of. It's like, this thing is coming down. You have to get out. There is no other question about this. You have to get out. Unless you are some kind of godly HP holder, you got to get out. Otherwise, you are fucking dead. Right. So when Imogen was in there and Breas was in there, I was like, oh, dude, maybe this is what Ben saw. Like, maybe when you sent me that message saying, I took a peek, we're in for it, bro. I thought maybe two people were missing after that. I thought maybe Sam and fucking Laura were gone from the table. I was waiting for it when the second half happened. But it turned out it wasn't, and they just kind of reversed everything and talked to a god instead.
It was a little bit disconcerting because I was like, why aren't they worried? Why aren't they, like, he's even made this clear that it's bad.
A little disconnect there, yeah.
Yeah.
A little something that maybe we missed, and you know, when they went offline or whatever.
When they go offline, they take their break, they go in, they talk about things. You wonder what is said, because they also seemed a little bit off, because they were asking, like you said, they're asking, oh, yeah, well, who's in there? Oh no, the Sword Lord's out. I'm like, no, man, Breas is over top of him and protecting him. It's like, oh yeah, right, I did that. Like, that was only like 15 minutes, in stream time.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have the whole story.
Nope.
I do remember what I was going to say before.
Okay.
When the second half of this episode seemed scripted, and I mean that as a compliment. It's definitely not scripted.
No.
But man, just like when things like a song, let's say, for example, like a song that you hear that's really good, you can't imagine the writing process if it's that good. You're just like, oh, here's a song. And you can't imagine somebody coming in just like, oh, hey, guys, I have this riff. Be like, oh, shit. And then they write their part, blah, 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 and it comes out as a song. If you if you can't see the writing process, then and they're like, oh, some magic happened here. And it's like, no, that's a compliment. From the songwriting standpoint. And if you're watching an improvised show and it seems like it's scripted, that's the highest compliment you can give. Like if you're playing a game online and they're like, oh, this guy's using a bot. And they're like, no, I'm not. That's the highest compliment you can get.
Yeah.
And like, mad props to Abu for just like, it seemed scripted, but it definitely was not.
No,
I felt like I was reading a book.
He was reading parts off of his iPad.
Oh, he was, for sure.
In front of him. Yeah, he was reading bits of it.
What he was
and
saying
he had it
was
written down. But he was well rehearsed. This is a professional actor, or like an actual TV actor we're talking about here. So he's very in tune with, I read a script, and now I know what I need to say when my line comes up, when the cue comes up. Right, I'm supposed to say this. So what you're saying is absolutely true. It is scripted in the sense that it's just really, really well prepared dialogue.
Yeah.
On his side, one way, well prepared dialogue.
Yeah, well prepared, not scripted. Like he knows what he wants to say to them, and Matthew debriefed him. It's like this information needs to pass.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Like when Bronte comes in, he says all that shit, and he's like, you really are beautiful. And just leaves it at that. I'm like, holy shit, what a diss. He didn't see that coming.
100%. No.
Neither did Matthew, I suppose. It's just all Matthew has is this information is yours to play with.
Yeah.
Just
and what
really
they say
well
and how
done.
they react to it is the game. That's the game. I really loved how when Liam first says DM, and everyone's like, holy shit, yeah, he's the DM. So everyone's like, right, yeah, the DM, right? Yeah. Even Abu's kind of chuckled at that. He's like, yes, I'd like to use Indomitable and re-roll again. I'm like, that's fun because it was a really, really cool thing to do in retrospect, looking at this, where he's actually not really playing DM. He's playing an NPC PC.
That's right.
It's not really the DM, but he's playing an NPC, former PC, now turned NPC, in the DM's chair. And it makes so much sense, right? I was thinking about that. I'm like, he's not really the DM in this situation.
Interesting.
But he is. Because it's way better for the game for him to be there than it is for him to be beside them all, which is where he normally would have been as a guest spot.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really clever from the hop.
Anyway. That's interesting because like if he was just at the table, be like, Abu, would you mind coming in? And then he's sitting there talking the whole time while Matthew just kind of sits there and listens.
Yeah.
No, I mean Matthew could have done that.
This is way more effective with a really cool little trick. I like it. If I ever run a campaign again, I will definitely pull that out of the bag and find an opportunity. If there's an opportunity, find a spot for that exact thing where I just walk away and somebody else comes, one of my buddies comes over and sits down and does that thing. It'd be sick.
Go get a mushroom pizza. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Come back and be like, you guys look amazing.
You're beautiful.
Cool.
Well, hey, dude, I got to run. Let's wrap this up.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, I had the day off. Did you have the day off? No, it's different country.
We ran Moon Festival activities all morning. By 11, I did 2.5 hours of shuttlecock and shooting arrows and a whole bunch of running around with grade 6, grade 5, grade 4, grade 3. And then once they were done, the grade 1 and 2s came in. It was, woo! It was fun. By 11 o'clock, I was done. I'm like, that's my day. I'm done. I'm like, oh man, I still got 4 more classes to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, went out last night with the girlfriend's family, had the old barbecue, and
Nice.
you know, the sneaky ones of us were like sneaking off to have a cigarette every now and then.
Yep.
And, you
Yep.
know, it was a lot of fun though. You know,
Good.
good eats and
Good.
tried some new stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey
Good
man,
stuff.
let's wrap this up. Follow Ben Greenspoon. It's on X now and all socials. I'll just say all socials.
Yep.
I'm drummatucka on Instagram. I'm not on X necessarily. I got a show coming up here in Tainan on the 25th. Not Shape Master. It's another band that I'm sitting in for. But that's in the afternoon. I'm not going to say much more about that because I'm not sure what I can say. But on the 28th, we're playing here, Compass Festival on Saturday night. We're either closing or second to last. We're hoping for second to last so we can play our set and then chill. But come check us out if you haven't already. A few more things coming in October, but I'll wait until to announce that stuff later. That's it for me. If nothing else, Ben,
I'm good, bro.
y'all don't forget to love each other. Get in touch down here in the comments. The best way to do it, even just to drop a thumbs up, like our friend Country Music Television L.
Live television.
Right, Country Music Live Television. Appreciate it. Anybody else?
Can't
Get in touch.
make licensed telephones.
Right. Skype, pay attention. And if anybody knows how to fix these problems that we're having here, because like we're gonna cut out before Ben cuts out again. So
CMLT. Could Mary love Tim? It's terrible. Terrible.
Is that a game?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with anagrams for CMLT. Not
Yeah.
anagrams. What are they called? Whatever they're called.
Initialisms?
No, there's no, not homophones. They're scuba is self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. It's like there's radar is and all those ones are all the things. There's a word for that.
When it makes a
Abbreviation,
word, it has
something.
one name. When it doesn't make a word, it's an initialism.
There you go.
Yeah.
CMLT. Let us know what it is.
Yep. There you go. Get in touch right down there. And if nothing else, Ben,
I'm good, bro.
we got another episode next week or this week.
We do.
All
We
right.
do.
Oh man,
Last one of the month.
I have such a busy Friday
Uh-oh.
and Monday.
Uh-oh.
Oof, this is gonna be tough to get one in, but I'll get one listening. I'll make it happen.
Okay. There you
All
go.
right. All right. Well then, don't forget to love each other. And is it
Word.
finally Friday?
Finally Friday.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, friends. Happy Moon Festival, Taiwan.
中秋节快乐.
So yeah.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Peace, bro.